Hi everyone, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to not get sick, how to stay healthy. I'm going to share with you a couple things. Some are pretty obvious, but one is something you've heard of, but it's a whole new way of doing it. I'm going to share my routine. Since I've done this, I have not been sick since February of 2017, so that's 3 years now. And so what it is vitamin C. And specifically, it's taking a lot of vitamin C, much more than the recommended daily allowance, the RDAs, because those RDAs are set on preventing a deficiency. And specifically with vitamin C, that deficiency is scurvy. It is not to promote optimum wellness. So the reason I got interested in vitamin C, for one, I didn't mention I am a dietitian. I am not a doctor, but I started doing my own reading, and I came across this book by Linus Pauling, who's a 2-time Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's an orthomolecular medicine chemist, and this book outlines basically why we should all be taking extra vitamins. Really interesting stuff. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I highly recommend this book for reading if it's something that you are interested in. It's not highly promoted, and I'll get to that in just a second, but it's called How to Live Longer and Feel Better by Linus Pauling. And I have well used it, and this is where I came up with my regimen for my vitamin C. So what I do is I take approximately 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day. You heard that right, 6,000 milligrams. I believe the RDA or whatever they're called now is 60. So this is a lot more, okay? And I take I usually get these 1,000 milligram pills, and so they look like so. Oh, this one's not been opened. Let me get one out of here. They look like this size. Ooh. Okay, that was, there it went on the ground. So there's the size. So I take, on a normal day, I take 2 in the morning, 2 midday lunch, 2 dinner or bedtime, so breakfast, lunch, dinner. If it is cold and flu season, I do take more. So I might take 8,000 a day or even more. Or if I do feel like I'm starting to get that feeling like I could be coming down with something, I will take more. But on a normal average day, I take 6,000, 2, 2, and 2. I do think it's important to space it out during the day. It's just because you're getting like a steady dose of it rather than all at once. If you took 6,000 in the morning, I feel like there's more benefit to spacing it out throughout the day. And everything I've read does support that, because if you are feeling not well, you should actually be taking vitamin C like every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, every hour. So there is something to say behind spacing it out versus taking it all at once. But certainly I would think all at once, a lot, is much better than taking none. Okay, so that is what I do. And let me just get into, there are a few varieties. You can obviously get the pills, and you can just get any generic variety. You don't have to get anything fancy. So these are the 1,000 milligram pills that I normally buy. You can also get it in this powder form. I ordered this online. This was what was actually, I think, in the Linus Pauling book. So this is a powder that you would mix in, or I mean, you could drink it with water. It's a little bit bitter. You could mix it in with juice, but I don't want all those extra calories. I don't drink juice. So, you know, you could put it in a smoothie or things like that, but I don't mind taking the pills. It really doesn't bother me. And the other thing I do, I have a travel container that I actually stock up with all these little slots for each day. I just fill it up with vitamin C for when I'm going to be traveling, so I take that with me, so I always have it. And then in my purse, I put this little container of vitamin C and carry it with me day to day. And the reason being, you know, like I just came back from a trip, and when I was on the plane, I was taking it every so often on the plane, just so that I don't get sick, so that my immune system is working at top peak performance, okay? So a couple of things about why it's important. And again, I don't want to get too scientific-y because I'm not that kind of person, but, and I won't do it justice like it's outlined in the book. But basically, we humans were genetically modified. We adapted. And a lot of animals create their own vitamin C internally, biologically. Humans don't. We evolved, mutated, and we no longer do. And that's considered to be an advantage because it's one less process that the body has to do. So it's in a more efficient way because we can get it from food. There's only a few animals that don't, and we are one of them. And really, when you look at, and he talks about just tons of studies and things that really aren't, you don't hear about or you don't read about, or were really limited in how the studies were conducted. But as an example, lab monkeys that are raised specifically for experiments are given a much higher dose of vitamin C based on their body weight than humans get. And that is considered the amount they need for optimal health. And it's way more than we humans are, what they recommend for us, that mere 60. Again, that 60 is what was determined to prevent scurvy. The other thing you hear is that you just pee out the excess vitamin C, which is true. But there are no known documented cases of vitamin toxicity, vitamin C toxicity specifically. And actually, your body uses more under times of stress and illness. So if you are sick, your body is using more vitamin C, so you need more. So the likelihood of you peeing out any extra is probably slim to none because your body is using it. If you really get heavy into it, you'll find that there is a tolerance point for vitamin C in your body, and usually the indication that you've maxed that point is that you have loose stools, but that usually comes at a much, much higher dosage. So I've never had any side effects from doing this, and I haven't been sick. So there's that. And again, the reason this isn't really highly touted, highly promoted is within the realm of pharmaceuticals. Vitamin C and vitamins in general cannot be patented because they are a natural product. So there's no real money to be made by the pharmaceutical industry for promoting vitamin C, but it's a very simple thing that all of us can do. Obviously, yes, you want to eat, a well-balanced diet, whatever that is for you, moderation, low carb, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it makes you feel good. I'm not here to judge. You do you on the diet. I am just telling you what has worked for me with the vitamin C. And this definitely is a regimen that has worked very effectively for me. And then lastly, I just have a couple notes so I don't forget anything. Again, pick up the book if you have any questions, if you're into this kind of thing and think it's interesting. It's not that difficult to read. So he goes into a lot of the vitamins. He also goes into the nutrients, but what I find is most interesting is his studies and his research on vitamin C. And then pick up some vitamin C. Again, it doesn't have to be fancy, but start to get into a regimen. And if you're uncomfortable taking that much, work your way up gradually. I've gotten my whole family adapted to vitamin C as a result of this. And my son, who is off in college at Oklahoma State and has been for 3 years, really has not had any illness to speak of. If he does, it's very short-lived because he knows the routine. And he is very, very committed to this vitamin C regimen and hasn't had an illness, which is, really good considering the college environment, all those shared germs and all of that. And he's been able to not have to deal with that, which is really great. And I think it's building good habits for a long time. And of course, aside from vitamin C, I can't stress enough washing your hands. I really try not to touch my face. I think that's important because if you think about where your hands are and if you touch your face, that's just one avenue for, bacteria and things to enter your body. So I try not to touch my face, but I do wash my hands. You certainly want to wash your hands after using the restroom, before you're eating at a minimum, just frequently get in that habit. And the other thing would be to get adequate sleep. I know that seems obvious, but I think that's really important. In fact, if you're not feeling well, if you think you're starting to come down with something, about the best thing you can do is take a good, several pills of vitamin C, some water, and get yourself to bed, and then wake up and take some more vitamin C and take more until you start to feel better. And that's about the best thing you can do for yourself. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all stay healthy. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.